integral part of the control mechanism. I don't believe any human has ever stepped foot on the moon due to the radiation. I believe the moon landing was the greatest science fiction film ever made. Scientific fact proves they couldn't have done it. In fact, I'll go so far as to say that I don't believe NASA can get anything past the Van Allen belt. Yes, they can go into low Earth orbit where they're weightless, but anything further than, say, 250 miles from the Earth, forget it. Now, do they really expect us to believe men walked on the moon wearing something that's only a few technological steps up from a Victorian diving suit? And we are led to believe that they're super-duper Victorian diving suits protecting them from deadly radiation from the sun. If those suits actually did protect them from the deadly radiation, why didn't they wear the same suits during the Chernobyl and Fukushima disasters? I've actually seen inside the command module that had supposedly gone to the moon and back, and it was a big disappointment. It was on display in the Science Museum in London in the mid-1970s. You could walk up some steps onto a platform where you could peer through the hatch that was open and see inside. It was from that point I had doubts they had actually gone to the moon. The command module was nothing more than a glorified tin can that wouldn't protect anyone from the deadly radiation. It was filled with hundreds of old-fashioned looking switches that looked impressive and probably did the square root of sod all. And it had a basic first aid cabinet that was actually on the piss. And it looked as if it had been built by a drunken carpenter very quickly on a Friday afternoon. Even the Red Cross on the front of the cabinet was hand-painted and wonky. I wasn't the only person that was disappointed in what was on display. Many other people as well. The entire command module looked as if it had been built as a result of a committee meeting and was made looking like an impressive stage set. And people looked at it like that and said, what, this went to the moon and back? Pull the other one, come on. It's a tin can. And the inside, I mean, what do all these hundreds and hundreds of switches for? What do they do? I mean, it looks good, yeah. But, and an old-fashioned first aid box on the, you know, probably a bit of shortage with the old budget there. Anyway, now, governments survive on keeping people in ignorance. They like to be important. Psychopaths like to be important. Now, keeping non-existent facts about UFOs back from the public makes governments look even more important. The more fantasy governments put out, and the more confused people are, and the safer governments are. UFOs, I believe, are just one more control mechanism that governments are using to their best advantage. Now, it's not my intention to insult anyone. My aim is to add information for debate and consideration. I apologise in advance if I have inadvertently insulted any UFO whistleblowers. My current view could be wrong. The big problem in the world is people that think they are right. I work on facts, and I'm just putting the facts together based on the information that I've been told in the past from these wartime veterans, etc. Now, as we go through life, we change our views as we gain more information. Again, I have a great respect for all people that seriously study UFOs. I'm just putting another theory forward to look into. Now, unless governments have got their backs to the wall, I don't believe there is ever going to be a great announcement about alien life. If they do, there is every possibility it will be a pack of lies with sod-all evidence or manufactured evidence, rather like the current phony terrorism and global warming scams. Political governments don't do anything unless they make it for political gain. Now, does anyone really think that intelligent alien life is going to communicate with the 1% elite bunch of ding-dongs that are currently rule this planet? If so, what means of communication are they using? Money? Or Are they patronising the ruling elite's mentality, or are the 1% psychopathic nutters that rule this planet the real aliens and we're not aware of it? Well, that's my view, because I think the real aliens are psychopaths, and that's something I'll go into in a later date. Now, let's go over this. Let's kind of look back now. First World War, the government told the population a pack of lies. Now, I believe the First World War, it took about 20 years of false reportage to get people chomping at the bit and wanting to go to war, because the propaganda against Germany started about 20 years before World War One. And again, science fiction was used to manipulate people. Science fiction was used to manipulate people in World War Two. And I think this UFO thing is just another form of conditioning and manipulation. But yes, I do believe that UFOs do exist. There is alien life that does exist, but I don't believe that governments are back engineering crashed craft or anything like that. Well, thank you very much for listening, and remember, everyone is an individual. You are unique. Keep being an individual and be proud of it. And above all, avoid groupthink. Thank you very much.